Good afternoon. Let's see. It's actually going to be a little bit longer of a stream today. I decided to take the afternoon from work to work on my MCP server. So we're going to lock in here. Try to get some stuff done, huh? I actually have a really funny TikTok video to show too. Let's see. We gotta alert the Discord homies. There we go. Nikki. Hello, Nikki. Hello, Network Bib. How are you doing? How are you guys? And Nikki, don't tell me no. Okay? Don't come in here, start popping off. I'm not having it. Excuse me? How's your day going? My day's going good, man. It's been a pretty chill Friday. I worked, my normal schedule until a few minutes ago, and then I decided to take the afternoon off and have kind of a short day this Friday. Steven, it's a joke. I know it's a joke, Nikki. Let's see. Suos. Hey, bro. What's up, Suos? How are you? Network Bib. I had a biology test, and I aced it. Nice, man. Nice. Way to go, dude. Always feels good when you study and perform well. Can't go wrong there, man. Can't go wrong there. Let's see. We're going to need... Let's see, we really just need two tabs. And let's see, we need to, we can really just split this. So I think it's Alt-Shift-minus, Alt-Shift-minus, and then Alt-Shift-minus again. CD. Okay, so we need to do npm run dev. And then what do we want to do over here? Maybe npm run test. Oh, oops. CD. Npm run tests. Oh, one of our tests is failing. Oh, that's because I haven't written a test for it. That's fine. Equal. How do I panes? Resize pane down. And then I'll use this one for the inspector whenever I need it. All right. Nikki, oh my bad. No, I'm not serious, man. Oh man, Nikki's checking up on Network Bib's score. Dang, that's hardcore. That right there is hardcore. Network Bib, I don't care what score you got. I won't grade you so harshly. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys this like stupid vibe coding video I saw on TikTok. Let's see. Can I open the file? Yes, I can.
One of our companies.
Okay, let me pause the music really quick, because I feel like other people need to listen to this. Just. Alright, everybody ready? Okay, listen to this and tell me what you think.
One of our companies, Blitzy here, writes 3 million lines of code in a single night.
Wow.
So 3 million lines of code, that'd be $300 million worth of R&D that would have taken you 3 years. You had $300 million lying around, and you got it in a single night. And then if you say, well, it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do, let me start debugging it.
You're dead.
So what you do instead is you just keep talking to it, fix the modules you can through voice, and then just wait a couple months and the rest will get fixed too.
Hold on. He said you just then wait a couple months and the rest get fixed too. How do they get fixed? I don't understand. 300 million lines of code in a night, in a day, like this is just going to end really badly for everyone. Just can't believe it. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. I just I don't understand. Network bib. I work with 1 to 10 grade, so a number from 1 to 10. Oh, interesting. I've never heard of 1 to 10 grading. That's pretty wild. I'm only familiar with like percentage, and then the percentage is mapped to letters. Like in elementary school here in the States, they do like on target, needs improving. Like they don't really do letter grades, but then when they hit like 3rd or 4th grade, they start doing letter grades. Suhas, I will be very profitable fixing that. Yes, you will, Suhas. You should start a consultancy that's just vibe coders who fix things. Or you fix things that vibe coders wrote. Yeah. Pretty silly. Pretty silly. I mean, no doubt AI is powerful. Like nobody, like that's the thing is like nobody I think needs to convince anybody who's used ChatGPT or Claude or Copilot. Nobody needs to convince programmers and coders that like these tools can help us. But this constant need to try to convince us that they're going to supplant us or make us obsolete is just so unnecessary and dumb. Nikki, same here. Did not know that's yeah, I didn't know they did that either. 1 to 10 grading. That's a new thing for me. All right, I need to add a test because I added a tool last night, but I didn't get the test written. We are gonna come down here. Yeah, we need to come down here. And we need to define a mock client. I probably should consider putting these in separate files. Let's see if Copilot can get this right for me. That's a good start. There we go. Okay, so yeah, it should be a function. It should throw if there's no client. But now we need. Oh, this is the wrong. It's the wrong tool. This is not the right tool. So Copilot did not get this right. Get fields tool. Then this actually needs to be get Victor, what's up? How are you, Victor? It has been a long time. How have you been, man? It's been a minute. Suhas, hey, did you fire your programmers and now you have a lot of bugs in your code? Did you give QR code? Call Suhas. Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful business model, Suhas. I can totally see you scoring some business. Nikki, yeah, I'm kicking back tonight. I'll be working tomorrow. Well, that's good for you, Nikki. Sometimes it's nice to just have a nice time to chill, you know? All right, so we should probably let's open up the tools module and let's go down here to the bottom. Okay, so we need to test we basically need to test when the thing is not successful or the data is null. We also need to test one or more pages. So these are very similar to tests to these tests up here. Victor, I'm good. How are you? Been really busy with school and stuff. I've been good, Victor. Life's good, man. I'm healthy. My wife's healthy. My kids are healthy. It's all just icing on the cake after that, you know? Yeah, Nikki's. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to just kick back and chill and enjoy somebody else trying to do something. Let's see. It should return an error message when fails to get. Yep, Copilot is on it. What else? We want a test to be if test. It should return an error message when there's no data. Correct. And then there should be. Yep, if it throws an error. Has one page, and if it has multiple pages. Okay, cool. Which this is stuff that Copilot's just so good at, because Copilot can basically see that I have these same 5 tests up above for another tool, and so it just saves a ton of time, and it'll write out the tests, which is good. That's what I want. Get a 500 response. It fails. The result should be an error. We should capture this message if there is a message. And then basically the same thing here. Let's see if it returns no data. Yeah, data would be null. That would be another example. Let's see if I can get this one right. Yep. We won't have a status code there. Although I think there might be, let's see, 3 failed. It should return an error message when fails to get field. Oh, I think I forgot to, this is why you write tests. I forgot to, did I forget to, or did it forget to? Oh, I also need to cover this case right here. If it can't find the app. Yeah, so I need to mock this part of the test. Which is the part that Copilot can't see. Doesn't have the context. So I don't just need to mock I don't just need to mock the get fields call, I also need to mock the get apps call. Okay, so we need to add a new test. It should return an error message when app is not found. This. Be help if I could type. Oh god. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is I need to get my tool. Then I need to say mock client.get apps. And that should resolve. Yeah, if that just resolves to no. We don't even need a message. We don't need that. Then perfect. Now I just need to mock those calls here. So I need to mock. Yeah, mock this, and this needs to actually return an app. Which should make another one pass. See, it should return an error message. It's not working. Nikki, did you know Copilot can create another workspace with the same context? No, I did not know that. That's pretty cool. Victor, bye, bro. Feeling sleepy. Sorry I was here for only a minute or two. No worries, Victor. Have a good night, man. So it can create a workspace and another folder. I think I did know that. I think I did that when I think I kind of did know that because when I worked with Copilot that one day, I'm pretty sure that's what it did for me. Was create a workspace, create a folder for me. Let's see. Yeah, I'm all caught up. Oh, I'm supposed to look at Discord. Steven, this is the price of the nanobots. Dang. That seems way cheaper than I would have thought. What you're saying, 30 euros? So what is that, like 30? That's almost $30. Huh. Interesting. I guess how many nanobots would I have to buy to make them useful though, right? Like if I had to buy 100 of them, then it could get kind of expensive. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. I'm glad you're having success. Man, Network Bib. Sometimes Network Bib, I gotta say, you get a little jumpy, man. You're always like, you just put caps lock in my YouTube chat. Look in Discord. It's like you're yelling at me, man. Just take a minute. Suhas, for me, it's 12:53 p.m. Yeah, for me, it is 2:24 p.m. So I guess, Suhas, we must be... No, you're in front of me. It's 12 Saturday for you? Suhas? That's crazy. I gotta mute Discord for a sec. That sound coming through. It's gonna get to me. For 3 hours. Network bib. Bye. I gotta get something to eat. Okay, network bib. See ya. I feel like maybe network bib comes here more than anything just to like share his progress, and then he leaves. All right, network bib. See you, man. Nikki, it's 9:25 for me. Yeah, Saturday the 12th of April. So yeah, Suhash, you're like a whole day ahead of me, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Time zones are weird, man. Super, super weird. Okay, so I'm mocking this up here, but I'm not getting what I would expect. So why am I not getting what I would expect? You know what? I don't think I've ever set up vi tests for NeoVim. Suhas, imagine dating a girl in the other side. Yeah, that'd be wild, man. Net time zones would. There'd be no way. There'd be no way I could do a long distance relationship like that. Let's see. Neo test. Excuse me. Yeah, because I think, let's see, TS, or no, Control T, I think is what I want. Control T. Oh, I guess I do have it set up. Nice. Okay, so can I debug it? So if I do leader TD, I don't think that worked. What is it? It's leader T O P. It's not showing me any test output. Huh. Okay, well now I have a question to decide. Do I want to dig into my NeoVim config or do I just want to debug this? And I think I'm just gonna debug this. So music's getting to me. I'm gonna change the music. Suhas, hey Steven, knowing me, how likely is it that I can get a decent job? Oh man, I would think it's definitely likely, right, man? I mean, lots of jobs in the world, you know? Nikki, I have an Adreno board. Should probably do something with it, but I like the new Pi boards. I've never used a Raspberry Pi. I would like to do something with the Raspberry Pi. It seems like it would be a fun little project. Okay, so why isn't this working the way I think it should? This should throw. Oh, that's why. Because I'm mocking the wrong function. It should be get fields by app ID. It should be get fields by app ID. Now this should work. Yeah. Get fields by app ID. We also need to mock the get apps call. And this one here too. Get fields by app ID. And we need to mock. And now all our tests should be passing. There we go. So let's go back over here. Let's see, it should return a list of fields when get fields is successful and has one page. Yes, it should do that. See, get fields, we should mock the app. Then we're gonna return 2 fields, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that should be right. Yep. And then if we have multiple fields, I love ViTest. ViTest is like the best. I mean, that's like the only way anyone should write new test suites these days. Just makes it so easy. And there we go. Right? 21. There we go. 21. All passing. Okay. So I think though there's a small change I want to make to this get fields tool. So the way the product works that I'm calling the API of is you can have fields in there, and fields can be different types, and based on the type of the field, well, it's going to be important for the LLM to know what type the field is so that the LLM can properly use it in other tools. So down here, where I'm just returning the field name, I'm thinking I need to also include some information about the type. Excuse me. So what I actually need to do, I think what I want to do is I think I want to return something that looks like field.name, field.type, and field.id. I think is what I want to push in there. And I'm just returning strings of text because we're talking to LLM. I guess I could return JSON. I guess I could return JSON. I don't know. Let's see. Let's ask Claude. Let's ask Claude. What would Claude prefer? Claude.ai. I am definitely 18. Let's see. Hey Claude. If I was building a tool for you that returns some information about data in another system, would it be better to return this data to you as just strings of text, like field.name, field.type, field.id? Or would you prefer this to be JSON? Travis K, what are we building here? Travis, we're trying to build a model context protocol server. Let's see. Both formats could work, but JSON would generally be more helpful for me to process structured data effectively. Okay. Okay, cool. I can use JSON then. Okay. We're gonna have to change our test though now. So instead of this, we'll return an object that is like this. I mean, I could just push the whole field object in there, but that just seems like, it seems like you shouldn't stuff the context window with unnecessary information. So let's go up here. Where we define the fields. And we'll just define a little object for ourselves. Name is string, type is string. It would help if I could write TypeScript. ID is a number. But there's actually an interesting. Okay, so there's one other. Okay, so I think there's one other thing that I want to add here. There should also be field dot multiplicity, but that only exists on list fields. Oh, I also need to account for formula fields. Okay, so we're gonna have to do something a little different here. So, Nikki, today is chest day for me. Tomorrow's leg day. I just do the leg day today, Nikki. Just get it out of the way, man. Just do leg day today. Suas, it was too rainy. I didn't went to gym. Oh, that's too bad, man. That's why you got to get a home gym, right? That way you don't have to worry about the weather. You can always work out. Nah, I know not everybody's as lucky to have a home gym. So I get it, man. Does it rain a lot where you are, Suhas? Okay, so we need to. Okay, so there's a couple types of fields we need to special case here. So we need to say if field is instance of a list field. We're going to do something a little differently. If the field is an instance of a formula field, we're going to do something a little different. And if the field otherwise we'll just do the default thing, which is just to push in the type, the name, and the ID. In this case, what we want to do is, if it's a formula, we want to continue to. So if it is a list field, I think I'm actually gonna do if field is instance of list field, or field dot type equals field type dot list. I'll just check for either condition. That'll make testing a little easier. Or yeah. No, I'm not gonna do that actually. I'm not gonna do that. I'll just check for an instance, and then I mean either one will work. I don't need both. So if it's a list field, the thing I want to include here when I return this to the LLM is I want the LLM to know whether the list field is single select or multi-select. And so what we'll do is we'll say type is going to be type is not just going to be type, it's going to be it's actually going to take into account field dot multiplicity. So this is going to tell us whether it's single select or multi-select. Yeah, like that. And then for the formula field, the formula field's also kind of different because the formula fields can have different output types, which is all that really matters in the context of the API. So in this case, this is actually going to be name field, but type, we don't want type to be formula field because that doesn't mean anything in this context. So what we actually want is we want field dot there should be an output type like that. Okay, so I've broken something somewhere. Hold on. I've like screwed up my language server somehow. There we go. It's back. There you go. Yeah, output type. So output type will be like number, text, date, number, text, date, and there's a fourth one. I can't remember what that fourth one is. Go to it's date and time, list, numeric, or text. Okay, cool. And actually, if it's list, I actually think I want to map these to the proper field types. Now that I'm thinking about it. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do... Dude, someone's spamming the reaction button. Let's see. What IDE is this, sir? MD, this is NeoVim. My boss let me get off for like 3 months now. He's waiting for the contractors and to redo my contract, but damn, I missed the project we worked on. Oh, that's too bad, man. Sorry that's going on. Suhas, yes, I live in Bangalore. Oh, okay, so there's lots of rain, huh? That's too bad. I think you're using Vim or NeoVim right now. Yes, NeoVim is what I'm using, MD. Okay, go back to... go back here. And let's actually, for now, let's set this to, yeah, we'll say like numeric formula or date and time formula is what we'll tell the LLM is. Okay, so I need to go back to my tests. Need to go back to my tests. Because these are going to fail now. So this, okay, so let's just type, set that to text. Type can be text there. And these are actually going to be all going to be objects now. Test fields, and I'm going to set this equal to an array, but these should have types to them. I know a proper NeoVim user probably would have used some macros right then. But you know what? I didn't. Let's see. And then we can just say here, we can just say this should be equal to test fields, like that. And then we can do the same thing up here. Test fields. We can just say test fields like that. Okay, I think that'll fix my tests. Hold on. Okay, so I still have 2 failures. It should have a list of fields and has 1 page. So why is this not working? Whoops. Oh, is it because the name type ID? Is it because I have it in the wrong order? Yeah, I think it's because I have it in the wrong order. Name type ID. So can I use, I think I can use a different assertion, can I? Can I do like object or like expect to match or something? Hold on. Network bib is back. Network bib does not need more rain. My issue isn't so much rain here. My issue is wind. There's lots of wind where I live, and I hate it. Let's see. We're talking about first OSs. My first OS was a Mac. I don't know what version of Mac. It was an Apple laptop. That was the first OS I ever worked on. But I would have been like, oh man, I was so little. I was so young when my dad had that laptop. I don't even know what you would call it. First Apple laptops. It wasn't the first. It would have been like this guy. This is what it kind of looked like. A PowerBook. Apple PowerBooks. Yeah, 91. Yeah, that would have been about the... Maybe a little later, because I wasn't born until 93. So maybe a later version. That's what we had. Oh, no, I think I've mentioned this before. My dad was in IT growing up for the school district I went to. And the whole school district was all Apple products. Network bib. I'll be polite this time. Can you look in Discord, sir? Yeah. Print. Stephen Freeborn, sir. Well, hey, GW, that's a pretty good logo, although my name is spelled wrong in it. Network bib. Damn you old. Yeah. I guess I am these days. My wife turns 34 tomorrow, and I turn 32 on the 21st of this month. So we're getting up there. We met when I was, let's see, my wife was 17 when we met, and I was 15 when we met. So we're getting up there in years. Nikki, my dad was into alcohol. Yes, Nikki, so is mine. I have a very long and complicated relationship with my father. Suhas, Win versus Mac versus Linux. Yeah, you know, honestly, Suhas, though, like I'm not a big like any type of wars thing, right? Like I'm not a big operating system war guy or Emacs versus Vim, or I don't really. I mean, I think, man, they're all pretty cool and they all do interesting things, and so you should use whatever it is that you fuck with. Use that. GW. Okay, then the only critique. Hey, not GW. I guess it's Network Bib. Network Bib. The only other critique I have is, can it be instead of print, can it be console log? Because I'm not a Python guy. So if you turn it into either console.writeline or console.log, we can use it. I'd be happy to stick it on there for you as the logo. The Stonk Show. What do you think about Apple silicon chips? I random scrolled onto your screen. I've got no idea if this is a relevant question to your stream. That's all right, man. You're welcome to ask whatever you want. It's not super relevant to what I'm doing right now. But what do I think about them? I haven't ever used any of them, so it's hard for me to have an opinion. But Suhas, no print. Yeah, no. But I've heard really good things about the silicon chips. Like every review that you watch or read. I know Pablo. I think Pablo, one of the guys that's sometimes in my chat, he has a silicon Apple product, and he speaks highly of it. So maybe one day I'll get to use it. MacBooks are just so dang expensive. We talked about this the other day. It's just, that's the whole reason why I develop on a Windows computer, is just because I would have considered myself an Apple fanboy. I had only owned Apple products until I had kids. And then I just couldn't justify the expense of those computers. Okay, I think I can make this work by doing, instead of object to equal, I think I can do like to match object. Does that work? let's see. There's got to be some way, let's see. By test, assertion, match object. I basically want something like JSON assert in C#, where basically I want vytest, let's see, vytest, don't worry about property order. Anybody know how to do that? Seems like it should be an easy thing to do. It don't care for all of the fields. Okay, so vi to match object. Let's see. To match object asserts if an object matches a subset of the properties of an object. You can also match an array of objects. This is useful if you want to check that two arrays match in their number of elements. But I think it still cares. Okay, I'll just move the properties around so it'll stop complaining. So it needs to be name, type, then ID. Or let's just change it in the method. ID, name, type. How about that? ID, name, type. Look at us, just solving problems. Just solving all the world's problems. Nice. Yummers. Is Arch Linux even worth using? Yummers, I don't know because I've never used Arch Linux myself. Yummers. Mr. Steven, good morning. Hello, Mr. Yummers. Hunter, what's up? How are you doing, Yummers? How are you doing, Hunter? Good to see you, man. Network bib. Mr. Steven, please look in Discord. Man, everyone's so formal with the misters today. Yeah, I'll let Nikki or Suhas, one of the guys in the chat, answer your question about Arch Linux because I don't know anything about it. AI me, can I learn from you? Sure, AI me, you can definitely learn. What's this up to? AI me, we're talking about or what I'm building is a model context protocol server is what I'm working on right now. Nikki, I only use macros when I code in Swift. Interesting. I'm still struggling to become a good Vim macro user. Network bib. Master Steven, please look in. I see, man. Yeah, we can make it that. A GIF of I don't know the top 5 most popular languages with a line of code that prints Steven Freeborn server. Interesting. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, I've got to remove, there's a console log somewhere that I need to take out. Also, I need to go get more, I need to go get more caffeine, too, at some point. MD, what coding language are you coding in? I'm using TypeScript right now, MD, and the main reason for that, actually, it's funny, because I half debated starting this project over, because when I started this project, there was only Model Context Protocol SDKs in TypeScript and Python when I started this project. But now there are many more. So now there is a Go SDK, I believe, or there's a Go SDK in the works. There's now a Java SDK, a Kotlin SDK. These two might have already been there, actually. But I don't know Java and I don't know Kotlin. But these were the two that were there when I started the project. So I started with TypeScript because while I know Python, I try to avoid it if I can. But C#, actually, they just created an official C# SDK. They actually worked with Microsoft to do this, which is pretty cool. So I half debated going back and starting over with a C# SDK, but I'm just going to stick with it for now. With TypeScript for now. I like TypeScript. I think TypeScript's a really fun language to work in. Frag, you just need some red hair and some earrings. I don't understand what you mean, Frag. I'm not sure what that refers to. Nikki, does MCP servers also use Python? Yeah, I think you can write MCP servers in Python. And you could probably write an MCP server in Python that allows you to run Python code. You probably could do that. MD, can I learn TypeScript in 5 days like basics? Do you know JavaScript, MD? If you know JavaScript, yes. Already. If you already know JavaScript, then you can probably learn TypeScript in 5 days for sure. Because TypeScript is just kind of an extra layer of syntactic sugar on top of JS that makes your life more enjoyable as a developer. Frag, I can write a PowerShell script like anyone and their mother. That's it. I am sarcastic. I was referring to programmer stereotype. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Sorry, Frag. Sometimes people say things on YouTube and they just go, woo, over my head. I'm just not that clever. I actually, to be completely honest, so I work in PowerShell. Like, I work in PowerShell, meaning like the shell. But if I had to actually sit down and write a PowerShell script, I would have to do some learning because I've only written like 1 or 2 in my entire life. I wrote a PowerShell script that helps deploy some Docker containers for one of my projects. I wrote another script that did some file transfer stuff. But yeah, I don't know it well enough. And I should probably spend some time at some point becoming like an actual practitioner, PowerShell practitioner. Nikki, especially with the new compiler for TypeScript, works great. Yeah, I haven't tried the compiler, the Go compiler. I probably will just wait until it becomes the official compiler, which I think they said is supposed to be in V7. That will become the official compiler, I think. Nikki, I just use .bat files and git bash. Nothing wrong with that either, Nikki. Nothing wrong with that either. Especially if you're not a big Windows user to begin with. MD, I'm 18. I just started learning. I love computers, so I want to learn as much as I can. Yeah, man, I say go for it. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there's never, if you spend any time learning, it's never a bad investment of your time. You know, any time you spend pouring into yourself you're going to get a return on that investment for sure. Kogarashi. Yo, what's up, man? How are you? It's been a minute since I seen you in the stream last. How are you doing? Having a good Friday? Okay, so we wrote these tests for my tool, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Let's start up the inspector real quick, and we'll just make sure this all works. Oh, whoops. And then we're going to add the next tool. And the next tool I want to add is actually, okay, so actually the next tool I'm going to add is where you just get a bunch of records. But then I'm going to add a tool that allows you to query your records. Let's see, npm run inspect. Let's just make sure my tools all work. Frag, I'll be the odd ones out. I don't care. I love Windows. Frag, I love Windows too. People in my chat sometimes always give me a hard time because they're like, you need to daily drive Linux. But yeah, I love working on Windows. And the thing is with WSL now, Frag, I mean, you can have the best of both worlds. And I have VPSs that I can use when I want to do Linuxy things. So I probably would never use a Windows machine, like a Windows server myself. Like, just because I'm not familiar. Not that that's a bad technology. I'm just not familiar with it. But as my like daily driver OS, I like Windows for sure. Okay, so we should be able to check our connection. And we're connected. We should be able to get a list of apps. In this case, I'm just returning an array of apps that is their names. And then I should be able to get the fields for an app that I have access to. So let's say I want to get all the fields for the user's app. This may take a little bit longer. There's a few more requests in there. But yeah, so I've got the ID and the name and the type. And then the formulas will look like this. List value formula, text formula. What was the other? Oh yeah, here we go. Single select list. So this is going to be important because the type of these fields dictate how you can query against these fields through the API that I'm working with. So that's going to be important for the LLM to know. Like, for example, if you want to query based on the company name, right? If you want to say, find me a user record where the company value is Stephen Freeborn Inc., it needs to know that it's a text field so it can build the right filter, the right query to get that record. So that's why this other information is important. So those work. So the next one I want to build is, so we have get apps, we have get fields. I want to build a get records tool next. So let's go back over here. And let's try to do some test-driven development here. Let's I don't know. What do you think? Do you think we should split these out into separate files? Because this file is getting kind of long. That's the C# developer in me who's like, no, a file can't be longer than like 100 lines. Everything needs its own file. Every class needs its own file. Let's see. Let's remove that. Hold on. It just removed everything. Okay. Kogarashi, yes, true. I'm good. What about you? I'm good too, man. Just having myself a chill Friday. I actually took the afternoon off. My kids will be home in about another 40 minutes or so, but I basically stopped working at about 2 o'clock and was like, you know what? I'm just going to stream the rest of the afternoon and work on this MCP server. That's probably what I'm going to do all weekend is work on the MCP server and get it to a place where somebody can install it as a global module on their computer and just use it as like a local server for Claude Desktop or whatever other MCP client you want to use. That's probably that's kind of my weekend plans at the moment. Bahavesh, sorry if I screwed up your name, man. Said hi. How are you? You doing well? Thanks for stopping by the stream. I don't recognize your username or your profile, so like happy first time here. I hope you enjoy the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Do you guys know that you could do this on the iPhone now? You could do like formatting of words. It's kind of cool. My wife just texted me and said no D&D tonight. Do any of you guys play D&D? My wife's gotten super into Dungeons and Dragons over the last like 2 or 3 years. She even started actually playing with a group of friends, which I think is awesome. Like I don't play D&D. I don't think I could actually, like, I don't think my attention span would last for an actual game, but I love high fantasy. Definitely fuck with some Dungeons and Dragons and stories, but I don't know if I'd be able to last for a whole campaign, a whole game. They play for like hours. It's pretty crazy. I don't think I could do it. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we should figure out, let's see, let's go down here to the bottom file. Let's add a new test suite. This is going to be a get records tool. Excuse me. And first and foremost, we'll set up these first few tests here. So let's see. That looks right. Although we don't want get fields, we want to get records tool. And let's see, our get records tool is actually going to take a bunch of different arguments. So the get records tool needs to know, so obviously it needs the client, but it also needs app name, and it needs a list of fields. And then what else is it going to need? I think that's it. I think it's just going to need that. And let's I'm just going to say app name. And then a list of fields. And obviously this thing doesn't exist yet because I haven't actually made that function. So let's go to the tools file here. These are helpers, actually. Let's move these to the utils folder, or module, utils. Let's put these here for now until we decide how we want to organize things a little better. Oh, we need to export these too. Virtual machines work great if you do target and host testing or if you want to backdoor apps. Interesting. Nikki, I have all the operating systems installed on my PC. That's pretty crazy. How'd you get the Mac? How'd you get Mac OS installed on your PC? Unless I guess it is a MacBook. then that would explain it. But when you say PC, I was assuming maybe you're like somehow you got Mac to boot up on a Windows machine. Suhas, bro, is just ghost me. What do you mean? What are you talking about, Suhas? Suhas, I wish. I like D&D. Yeah, my wife, she's a big fan, man. And I like hearing her talk about it. She tells me all about her character and stuff that goes on in their campaign every Friday when she gets home from playing. So, Nikki, I have never played it, just heard about it. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I mean, if you're into like Lord of the Rings and you like kind of I mean, the thing is, like, you can have Dungeons and Dragons games that aren't about like high fantasy stuff, from my understanding, at least as a noob. But I feel like if you're into high fantasy stuff, then then people would probably fuck with D&D. Nikki, have you ever watched The 100 on Netflix? I don't think so. The 100? The 100 on Netflix. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. Is it good, Nikki? Are you recommending it? Network Bib, if you want to grab his attention, just use the nut emoji. Yeah, that's one approach. Let's see, hold on. Oh, you guys were working on a logo for the server. Okay, I'm looking at Discord now. Why at Steven? Why? Oh, did a filter catch you, Suhas? I can't stack. Hold on, I need to zoom in more on that picture. This can't be posted because it contains content blocked by the server. This may also be viewed by server owners. Oh, interesting. I wonder why it blocked that. I feel like I've said the word fuck in our Discord before. Have I not? Let me try. Fuck. Huh. Brain. So it doesn't filter me, but I guess it filters you guys. Huh, that's weird. I'm okay with that word. I'll have to look at my censor policies, Suhas, to figure out why it's blocking those words. Because it's very hypocritical of me. Mr. Teach, what are you doing, bro? Mr. Teach, I'm working on building a model context protocol server for the OnSpring API. That's what I'm doing. Nuri said hi. Hello, Nuri. How are you doing? Let's see. Nikki, I have a MacBook and a PC. Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome, man. Like I said, I have a MacBook. I just don't ever feel the need to plug it in and charge it up. It doesn't hold a charge anymore, so it has to be plugged in order for me to use it. But it's old too. It's like a 2018 MacBook Pro. But if there's ever a time I need to do something, I do like the Photos app on Mac OS, so I do actually use that quite a bit. Nikki, very sci-fi, but I think you would love it. Oh yes, the 100. Okay, cool. I'll add that to my list, man. Okay, guys, real quick, let me show you this logo. I mean, I know not all of you are in Discord, but those of you who are in my Discord, I want you guys you guys tell me yay or nay. Is this a good logo? One sec. Let me blow this up. Okay. Do we... Daddy... Network Bib, that's random. Okay, so are we okay with this being the Discord logo? Although I don't know any of these, honestly. Half of these print functions. PHP Echo. I'm okay with this. I'm gonna roll with this, and if you guys want it to be different, let me know. We can change it. Who was that made that Network Bib? Thanks, Network Bib for putting in the effort to make that, man. That was nice of you. Okay, here we go. How do I do this? I'm such a bad Discord user. We have to go to the server settings, and then we have to change the server icon. Oh, I guess I need to download that picture first, don't I? Does it allow me to save this? Oh, here we go. I can just save it off. There we go. Desktop, Save. Okay, setting server. Change the icon. There you go. We changed it. Although it's a little hard. I mean, like, I don't know how you feel about that network bib, but you can barely tell that's what that is. I can set it back to whatever, but I changed it for you, network bib. I know that's been your. I know you've been on that. Nikki, you deserve. Fuck off, Nikki. KR1V. No, I meant a GIF looping through all of them. So first, second print. Oh, that would actually be really cool. A GIF. Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know how to make GIFs. I'd have to use some tool online or something to do it. But yeah, if anybody wants to take a shot at oh, we got a new Discord. Yeah, if any of you are in the chat and you want to join our Discord, there's actually an invite link in the channel links. Okay. We should probably get back to a little bit of model context protocol. Yo, Steven, I was wondering, does programmers like you know if code was written by an AI? Shakir, it's kind of, it would be hard. The biggest tip off for me when I know that AI has written code, if there's lots of comments. Like if there's like a comment on every line, that's usually a pretty good indication that some AI wrote it. Because AI seems to always comment their code kind of excessively. Not that code comments are bad, just there always seems to be an excessive amount of them. But for the most part, Shakir, if you put they be spamming, they do be spamming comments, which is not a bad thing. It's just it seems like whenever I ask it to write code for me, like if I ask Claude or ChatGPT to write code, they'll usually dump a lot of comments in the snippet. Copilot doesn't do that as much. But yeah, I think Shakir, it would be hard. It would be hard to tell. In most cases, in a lot of cases, it would be hard to tell. I mean, because at the end of the day, the AI is writing code that it has seen somewhere else, right? In most cases, obviously, it like gets creative and mixes and matches things, but for the most part, the code it's generating, it's seen somewhere before. So it would be hard to distinguish, I think, in a lot of cases. Do you guys see those like Suhas, bro? Can you tell me what kind of server emoji do you want? I don't have anything in mind, but yeah, man, go crazy, right? I mean, the Discord server is largely for the community. So whatever you guys think, I'm cool with, as long as it's not like offensive and which I know is kind of a moving target, but as long as it's good vibes, good chill vibes, you know, that's what we're trying to do. So, Nikki, God, Nikki, you and the nuts, man. Nikki, I said this the other day when I timed you out, but like, I said Nikki has to be a guy in his 20s and he has to be male. Yeah, that's too funny. Okay, so let's go back. I was in the middle of refactoring this a little bit. Let's go back to tools. Let's close that. So we need to import these now. Actually, you know what? Hold on, real quick. Not to get sidetracked from the project we're working on, but I need to add. If I don't do it now, I'll forget about it. So this OnSpring API that I'm talking about, OnSpring is the company that I work for. They have an official C# API SDK, but over the years of working there, I've built an SDK to use in Python. I've also built an SDK to use in JavaScript, and so I just maintain these as like community projects. They're not sponsored by OnSpring or anything like that. It's just something I've done in my free time. And so I want to add an enhancement to this. I haven't actually worked on this project in a while, so this will be fun. So we need a feature, add client methods to support async iterable. Yeah, I'll say async iterables. I don't know if that's actually the correct technical term. Set that to enhancement. Let's see. The OnSpring client should expose methods that allow the user to asynchronously iterate over all the pages, of items that support paged responses. So should be able to do something like this. Excuse me. Should be able to do something like for await const record of client dot get records. Right? Is that the right syntax? I think that's the right syntax. For await const, yeah. I don't know when I'll get around to implementing this, but yeah, we should do that. It actually has, I mean, I don't know, is that a lot of downloads? I'm surprised that 2,000 people have actually installed this and used it. I think it's 2,000, yeah, 2,000. Surprised. Surprised anybody uses anything I make or build. Nikki, should I make a fan-made website for Steven? Go for it, Nikki. Earth Vibes. I'm 23, starting my second bachelor, 3 years, in computer science. The first one was in security studies, so I can work in cybersecurity as an engineer. Do you have any advice for me? Oh, man, Earth Vibes. That's hard, man. I'm just not... That's awesome that you already have so much education and you're pursuing even more. You'll go far, man. Sounds like you're investing in yourself, so that's awesome. You always get a return on investment for that. But I guess I don't have really general, like really specific advice when it comes to having a career as a cybersecurity engineer, just because I've never done that work before, and so I would feel disingenuous to try to like give you advice on that. I guess my one piece of advice would be, when it comes to like starting your career, would be I think if I could go back and talk to my early in career self, and I guess you could say I'm still early in career, but you know, if I was 23 and just starting my first job, I think my main advice would be, remember that it's a marathon, that you're likely going to work for 40, maybe 50 years. So you have a long timeline. So be patient, be persistent, be consistent. But don't get so frustrated because you're in a hurry and you think like it needs to happen now and you need to do everything tomorrow. Which is good energy. Those are good vibes. Like, that obviously means you're like motivated to accomplish things, but it can also drive you crazy because it's just not the world. That's just not the way the world works. Things don't change that quickly. They don't happen that quickly. So, but good luck, man. I wish you all the luck in your studies and in your career, dude. I'm rooting for you. Rooting for you. Okay, so now we're going to make a new tool. Let's go to our server. And let's call this... I don't actually know if I like this design that I have going on here. But I could not... They're doing this tool function is doing some fancy things with... It's doing some fancy type inference with Zod validators. Did my keyboard just died? I'm like over here trying to type buttons or type characters and nothing's working. It's like, well, my keyboard just died. Nice. Yummers, take it one day at a time, Mr. Steven. Yeah, that's I mean, that probably sounds like a real dad thing to say, but obviously I'm a 31, soon to be 32-year-old dad of 2. You know, and when you're young, it's great to be ambitious, it's great to be motivated. It's just sometimes it can drive you insane because things aren't happening as fast as you think they should happen. And those are most of the time just kind of unrealistic expectations. Earth Vibes. I also have the chance to go to Canada for a master's in AI ML after I finish my second bachelor's. Damn, dude, that's crazy. So you're gonna have 2 bachelors. You're gonna have 2 bachelors, and it sounds like you're gonna have 2 bachelors by the age of 26 or something. And then you're gonna have a master's probably before you're 30. You'll be hireable, man. The only thing I might say, Earth Vibes, is if you compare that with a little bit of work experience, that might be nice if you can fit that in along the way. But sounds like you got a good plan, dude. Thanks so much for the advice. Of course, dude. I'm happy to pitch in where I can. Black X. What are you doing? I just joined. I am working on building a model context protocol server. So if you're familiar with the whole kind of like AI space at the moment, the Gen AI space, there's kind of this idea of a protocol as a common abstraction layer, kind of like if you're familiar with language server protocol, right? A common abstraction layer so that you can have clients and servers know how to speak to each other, right? So if someone implements the client, they can use all of the server implementations, and if somebody implements a new server, all the clients can utilize that new server. And so that's what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to implement a server to allow MCP clients to talk to the OnSpring API. And OnSpring is a particular piece of software. It's made by the company I work for. Not that this stream and everything on it has nothing to do with my employer. All opinions are my own. It's just I have never built an MCP server before, and so I wanted to use an API that I was really familiar with so that I could just focus on the MCP aspect of the project. CJ Hernandez, guess who's back? Hello, CJ. How are you? It's been a minute, man. You doing well? Earth Vibes. I'm working in a Italian AI startup. Oh, well, dude, Earth Vibes, you are on the yellow brick road, my friend. Just keep walking down that path, dude. I mean, you've got nothing but green field ahead of you. So, and I hope you do get that opportunity to go study in Canada. I hope you can pursue it, man. Nikki says, I did not go to college or anything, and life turned out great. Don't worry so long as you have the basics for something. Yeah, I don't think like a degree's required, Nikki, for sure. I mean, I'm a self-taught programmer, coder. You know, I have a degree, but you know, you can definitely do things in a self-taught way. And I do agree, Nikki. Work experience is important. Network bib. Oh, you want me to look at Discord? Network bib. Let me look. I'm looking. I think that's cool, but if you got to take out the nut, network bib. But I'll happily put that as the just so everybody can see what I'm talking about. Network Bib here is trying to make us a Discord server logo. And he's come up with a little GIF here, which I think is pretty cool. Does this animate when it's zoomed in? Oh, I guess it does. Oh yeah, there you go. So yeah, maybe just take out the nut there, and we'll be ready to rock and roll in Network Bib. Give me iteration number 2. Well, the nut can stay if you guys want to use it, but I don't think I'm putting it in the server logo there. Mo Sadiq. Sorry if I messed up your name, man. There. First time seeing you in my chat. Thanks for stopping in. I'm starting as a research intern in game development next month. That's awesome, dude. Game development seems very difficult, in my opinion. Please keep it. Okay. All right. I did say the Discord server was for the community. So if that's what you guys want, if that's how you guys want to represent, we can leave it in there. Here, I'll set it as a, how do I do it? Let's see, logo, yeah, we'll save it as logo, and then server settings. That's silly. That's silly. There we go. Okay, I changed it. There you guys go. Yeah, I did say the Discord is for the Discord is mainly for the community, less about me, so. Oh my goodness. So this is the kind of community my content attracts. All right, so let's go down here and let's add a new tool, server.tool. Actually, hold on, I'm gonna get a that's not what I wanted to do at all. Gonna have some SOD validation here. Okay, so this is going to be called get records. And we're going to say retrieves a list of records from an app or survey in the OnSpring instance. And honestly though, these, so if you read the Model Context Protocol docs, they actually talk about how your description, like if you want this LLM to use your tool properly, your description should be kind of verbose. And so I kind of feel like I'm probably going to want to go back once I start testing these tools in, like with Claude Desktop. I'm probably going to want to revisit these descriptions, but I think those will do for now at the moment. Okay, before we go any further, I need some more caffeine. You guys mind if I step away and get some coffee? It'd take me like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So the logo doesn't change. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be changing on mine either. So that's kind of weird. Shakir, you're PFP probably. LOL. Shakir, yeah, take your time. Yeah, I'm just going to step away and get another cup of coffee, but then I'm going to be right back. Shakir, why Suhas's PFP kind of look like you? Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? The black hair. I see it. Shakir, Steven, I have a question. If I want to be a programmer, do I need to learn a lot of programming languages such as Python, Java, CSS? Shakir, I don't think you don't have to learn a lot, but you're gonna need, depending on what you want to do, right? So, just real quick, I guess what I would say is you're gonna need to learn, like for example, if you want to do web development, you're gonna need to learn JavaScript, HTML, and CSS at the very least, those three. And maybe you don't say HTML is a language or CSS is a language. Either way, though, you still have to learn those things. But you could get away with you could get really far with just knowing those three, right? And never learning another one. So you don't have to learn a lot of them, but you do have to learn something. And then you're probably also going to want to learn like a particular stack, right? So if you knew JS, CSS, HTML, then you'd probably want to learn something like the MERN stack or something like that, and become really familiar with those technologies and those frameworks, and become efficient in them. Okay, I'm gonna go get that coffee. I'll be right back. My kids are gonna be home too any minute. Let me mute. Yeah, Shakir, no problem, man. I'm always happy to give my thoughts. Although I should always preface my thoughts by saying I'm just a random guy in Kansas on the internet, so take it for what it's worth. I was thinking as I was getting my coffee, I was thinking that the other thing I would probably add to that advice is, it probably behooves you before you add languages, right, to get deep at least one, right, to know one really, really well. That's probably also very useful. All right, let's see. Let me catch up here. All right, I think I'm going to sleep at the moment. It is 12 a.m. here in Saudi Arabia. Oh, cool. You're in Saudi Arabia. Very cool. I don't think we've had anyone in the chat before from Saudi Arabia, so thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a good sleep. Suhas, it's 2:13 in India. That's wild, man. You're up way too late. Nikki. Yeah, Network Bib, Suhas, yeah, you guys are awesome. I appreciate all you guys for hanging out and showing up in my streams again and again. Yeah, if you want to join the Discord, everyone is welcome. Although I don't know why that GIF isn't changing. I did save it as a gift. Yeah, I saved it as a GIF and I uploaded it as a GIF. So I'm not sure why. I don't know. It's weird. Taking the long way home. Hello. I'm in Texas. Well, hey, awesome. I'm in Kansas. So, what part of Texas are you in? Taking the long way home. I've been to Austin. I've been to San Antonio. Been to Dallas. Been to Fort Worth. Yeah, that's all. Everywhere I've been in Texas. I'm in Kansas in near Kansas City. If you know where Kansas City is. You can call me CC. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, you've got quite the long name there, man. College Station. Okay, that's Texas A&M, right? They're in College Station. Texas A&M. Yeah, College Station. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. First time in the chat. Hello, welcome. We're working on building a model context protocol server at the moment, right now. Okay, so we need app name. Copilot's being a little pushy. Yep, and then we also need a list of fields. Excuse me. What's kind of painful about this MCP server, so what's kind of it's not really painful about the MCP, it's more painful about the OnSpring API, is basically the OnSpring API uses IDs for identifying everything. But for an LLM, like, people aren't going to say, find me the app with ID 1, right? They're going to say the user's app. So the model context protocol basically needs to deal with names, and then in the tools themselves, I have to do all the translation from name to ID. Just kind of annoying. But it is what it is. Allo, God, I'm going to screw up your username. Alo Aid said hi. What's up, man? How are you? Thanks for stopping into the chat. Appreciate you. First time here, huh? We've actually had several, like, first time chatters, so appreciate you guys stopping in. Let's see. I'm going to college at A&M currently. Oh, nice. Very cool. What are you studying at A&M? Dali Kimha, very informative. Thanks. Thanks, Dali. I don't know if I've been doing a good job of explaining what's going on, but I'm happy to go into it in more detail if you guys have questions. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm building a model context protocol server, an MCP server that basically allows MCP clients to talk through natural language to the OnSpring API. And if you're not familiar with OnSpring, that's okay. It's not really a end user piece of software. It's more of an enterprisey piece of software. Taking the long way home. I'm getting a veterinary degree along with a poultry science degree. Oh, very cool, man. So I actually worked in the food industry for 6-7 years. We didn't do anything with meat or poultry per se. We produced well, I guess I take that back. We made pot stickers which used meat, but we didn't do any of the processing of those. We just bought that ingredient, that raw material. But are you thinking that you're going to go into something to do with food? Is that what your degrees are aimed at? Trying to go something in the food industry? Or I guess it could be just taking care of chickens. But I would think with those degrees, the people who would want to hire you would be companies like Tyson. Uh, Mohammed Noman. Hello, Mohammed. Network Bib, look in Discord. Okay, I'm looking in the Discord. Thanks, Network Bib. I appreciate the new Discord logo. For all of you. It's my face on a peanut. Mohammed, I'm good, man. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm healthy. My kids are healthy. My wife's healthy. You know, the rest is just icing on the cake. All the new people here are going to be run off by Nikki and Network Bib's nut jokes. Let's see, taking the long way. Cool, yes. I'm hoping to own my own veterinary clinic and have a chicken meat business. Oh, that's very cool, man. Well, that sounds like an awesome, awesome set of goals. And you're probably a very busy individual pursuing 2 degrees like that. So, wishing you all the best, man, along the road. We be rooting for you. Mohammed, are you American? I am. So I'm based in Kansas. So if you know where Kansas is, kind of in the middle of the United States, and if you know where Kansas City is in Kansas, that's the closest big city to where I am. Let's see, Dolly. Hope you are always doing good. Much love. Well, that's kind of you, Dolly. That's very nice. That's probably one of the nicer comments that we've had in the chat today. Let's see, Cece. I'm literally living the American dream. I'm from the Netherlands. Moved here when I was 10. I'm currently 21 now. Oh wow, that's crazy, dude. So when I was in college, I actually had in one of my programs that I was a part of, I had a foreign exchange student from the Netherlands. He was a foreign exchange student at a local high school, and then he had stayed to go to school at the university near where we lived. But what brought you from the Netherlands? Was it your parents, I guess? At 10, I would assume it was your parents. But that's awesome to hear, man. HTML Pro. Chicken jokey. What the hell are you talking about, HTML Pro? Also, are you actually an HTML Pro? Do you know how to use the dialogue element, HTML Pro? Network Bib. Did I hear Netherlands? Me too. Yeah, that's where Cece, or Taking the Long Way Home, that's where he's originally from. Yes, I'm also in a band called Animal Control. The guys in the band basically asked me to be their guitarist. I said cool, then they said it's called Animal Control. Nice. Well, as somebody who's going to be a vet and going to specialize in chickens, seems very fitting. HTML Pro, no. Well, how can you be an HTML Pro if you don't know how to use the dialogue element or the details element? HTML Pro. I just use this name for some reason. I'm not even a web dev. Okay, well, I guess your username's a little misleading. Dolly, I'm from Tunisia. I don't know if you know this country. I do know of Tunisia. I don't know much about it, though. I do know it's a country, but that's about as much as I know about it. But happy to learn if you want to share. Oh, I guess I don't know Chicken Jokey from Minecraft. Oh, my name is K Miha. Okay, K Miha. Read it as it is. Don't make it harder for yourself. Yeah, I do. I try so hard to say people's names correctly. I think I end up making it worse. Let's see. Cece says, cool. My mom died. Oh, that's terrible, man. I'm really sorry about that. So he stayed home with my dad, moved to America. Oh, wow, that's terrible, dude. I'm so sorry about your stepmom, too. Well, you sound like a very busy dude. It sounds like you've had quite a life, and sounds like you're a very busy guy trying to better himself. So, definitely rooting for you, man. And don't take this the wrong way, CC. It just that's a lot of tragedy, man. So, I'm sorry about all that, dude. That's awful. Okay, Mia, I know I'm a woman. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to misgender anybody. That's my bad. Muhammad, bro, how you're so sweet. I don't know if I would use sweet to describe myself. I try to just be kind. Kind, chill, good vibes. That's what I'm trying to go for. Suhas, suspect. Yeah, and that's where everyone calls me CC. Yeah, that's like so CC, I'm not trying to be a jerk. It just sounds like there was a lot of tragedy in that story you told us. And so I kind of agree with Suhas that like seemed a little suspect, but like if that's really your life story, really sorry about that. Network bib, damn, respect. Yeah, that's awful. That's really terrible. A lot of bad luck. Suha says, "I want his." Yeah, man, I saw it. That's quite the logo, quite the Discord logo there, man. Okay, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna say app name and fields, and then we're gonna sort of kind of just wrap this. And then we'll just return our tool with the rec. And the rec comes as an argument to that function. And then we need to define a new tool. Export function, get records tool. This is going to take a... Let's see, this is going to take an app name. No, this is going to take a client. Yeah, this is going to take a client first. Clients, then an app name, and then a list of fields that we want to get. And it's going to return a cool tool callback. And for now, let's just return we should always check that the client has been set. And then let's go back to the server. Let's import this guy. All right, cool. Now we're rocking and rolling. Let's go back to our tests. Tools.spec.ts. Let's import that. Let's check out our tests here. All right, all our tests are passing. Now we actually need to implement the actual logic for that tool. Let's see. Suha says make it an emoji. Okay, I can make it an emoji. Let's see. Cece says it's actually my life story, man. Why the hell? Yeah, I don't know why you would lie. It just, that seems like a bunch of crazy bad things that happened to you. So if that's your actual life story, that's terrible, man. K Miha. Almost all people here are friendly a lot and made famous for that in the street food with a lot of spices and multiple climates. All of them are present all year from snow to desert. Well, K Miha, that kind of sounds like Kansas, because we can get, here in Kansas, we can get all the seasons in the same day. It's crazy. Mohammed, what's the best phone in your opinion? The best phone in my opinion is probably an iPhone. I mean, that's the phone I have. and that's the one like I voluntarily purchase. If I had to pick a different phone from that, like if you're like you can't pick the iPhone, I bought a OnePlus 8 for work 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I've really enjoyed the OnePlus 8. Like I have a newer work phone that's a S23, a Galaxy, or yeah, I think it's a Galaxy phone, and I actually prefer the OnePlus 8 to that newer Android. So I mean, take it for what it's worth. I haven't tried any of the newer OnePlus products. Okay, Miha, you are so sweet. I agree. Oh yeah, I try to be kind, man. Nikki says the Nokia is the best phone. I don't know about that. See, my BF is super sweet, so he's helped me a lot. So shout out to Luke. Well, that's good, CC. I'm glad you have a really good support system. That's what it takes. Muhammad, no, I mean flagship. I mean, I would say if you asked me flagship, I would definitely say iPhone. Yeah, I would definitely say an iPhone. Okay, Mia, shout out Luke. At Steven Freeborn, you are very considerate. I try to be considerate. I do try. Like Samsung or something. Yeah, I have a Samsung Galaxy S23, which is fine, and then I have an iPhone. I think this is an iPhone 13 or an iPhone 14, and it's fine too. Phones are just really expensive, and now that I've gotten over the last 4 years or 5 years, now that I've gotten into the world of programming and doing development and stuff, they're just so expensive. Like, I don't know if I'd ever drop another $1,000 on a phone. Like I would, because I think, man, I could buy a new laptop. I could buy 16 gigabyte or 32 gigabyte little mini PC for that amount of money. Camilla, your kids look. Oh yeah, my kids are great. I love my kids. They'll actually be home here pretty soon. Yummers, OnePlus are great phones. They really are. I've only had one, but I really enjoy it. It's a really good phone. Network Bib is back. I thought you went to sleep, man. Mine is a 12. Yeah, I think, I mean, you can't go wrong with an iPhone. I mean, anything newer than like an iPhone 10 is great. I think if you're on anything older than an iPhone 10, it's probably worth upgrading. But if you're on anything after that, probably fine with what you got. Sounds like my family's home. I just heard the garage door open. CC, what time is it in New Jersey? In New Jersey, it would be it'd be 5 p.m. because it's 4 p.m. here, and New Jersey's an hour ahead of me, at least. Brock, what is it you're programming? So Brock, I'm working on a model context protocol server. If you're familiar with like the AI world, that's kind of like the latest hip thing at the moment. It's been out for a little while, but more people have been adopting it as a standard. And so I wanted to implement one myself to learn about it. Nice. How was school? Cool. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. Sorry guys, my family was getting home. I wanted to say hi to them. Let's see. Suhas, no more than $100 for a phone. I kind of agree with that, but I think it'd be very hard to actually execute on that. Let's see. Icaro SA. I'm new to coding. I'm learning C++ now. Been 2 weeks. Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations on taking that up. I've not written any C++, so all I can do is root for you. Suhas, do your sons think it's cool to be a YouTuber like you? I think that they would like to do more content like this themselves. But what they tell me is essentially that if I want to be a real YouTuber, I need to put video gaming on my channel. That I would get way more followers and likes if I played games. Let's see. Yes. Well, I appreciate that, K-Mia. I appreciate that. And Suhasa Nikki with the nut and emojis. Very nice. And I can make that picture an emoji. Give me one sec. Give me 1 second. You can only have 50 custom emojis on Discord? That's kind of crappy. Network bib. What is the difference between C, C sharp, C+, and C++? I don't think C+, is C+ a thing? I don't think C+ is a thing. I think it's just C++. Yeah. So C would be the granddaddy. C++ would be the dad, and C sharp would kind of be like the grandson, I guess, if you want to put it in a relationship like that. I think C and C++ both have. I mean, in terms of language features, I always think of language features in like three different aspects to them. I always think of them in terms of like statically versus dynamically typed, garbage collected versus not garbage collected, compiled versus interpreted. So C sharp, C++, and C would all be statically typed and compiled, but C sharp is garbage collected, and I don't think C++ or C have garbage collection. I think all the memory management is done manually. But I've never written C or C++, so I could be wrong. It was getting a little bright in here. I had to turn down the ISO. What the fuck is C+? Oh, that's not anything to feel ashamed about though, Network Bib. There's too many C languages to begin with. KMS says all of them have their implementations and purposes. I would agree with that. Although I would think, have you guys ever heard of Mark Russinovich? Russinovich, I think. He's the CTO of Azure at Microsoft, and actually he said in a presentation that C, and I think C++, he was saying like those languages should just be marked as deprecated because of the memory issues, which was kind of interesting to hear someone say. C sharp is C sharp Java replacement. Yeah, I've never written any Java. I do love me some C sharp. We should make nuts language. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think writing your own programming language, seems really hard, and seems like with as many great programming languages as there are out there, it's kind of like why spend the time other than just as a learning exercise. But if you guys want to work on that, I think that'd be a really funny project. Kind of like the Rockstar programming language. Have you guys seen that? It's kind of interesting. Rockstar Programming language. Like, this is a program. Here's another program. Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. Sorry, I was checking my messages. Hey, me, I gotta go. It's nice. Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. You should know about the creator of Temple OS. Yeah, that's Terry Davis, right? That's kind of a sad story. The Rockstar language is pretty cool, and it's the guy who makes it's actually pretty cool. I forget his name, Dylan Beatty. I've watched a lot of his talks on YouTube. So is the song lyrics that are the language? Yeah, basically, yeah. It's very crazy, CC, that he created that, but it's interesting. People have written whole applications with it. It's kind of wild. Yummers, a lot of shenanigans in the chat today. Yes, Yummers. So Yummers, you're around more than this is not your first time. Yeah, these guys, for whatever reason, Nikki and Sue Haas and Network Bib, they're on it today. MD Arun, nice man. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for saying nice things. All right, I should actually get back to writing some actual code. Well, I've been streaming for 2 hours. Holy crap. Well, yeah, I guess I did start at 2 and it's already 4. Okay, I'll go till the end of the day. I'll go to 5 and I'll hop off. That was kind of the reason why I decided to. I really wanted to work on the MCP thing, and I thought, well, I want to do that on stream, so I'm just gonna take the afternoon. All right, so first things first. Let's see, test. It should throw an error if. An error if. Oh, we already have that test. Let's see. It should throw an error if no fields are provided. I don't think we need a test for that because that's already going to be validated with Zod. Let's see, in the server. The server is already going to do that validation for me. So I think what we should validate is that it can find the name, right, of the app, and that it can actually find the application. And then we should probably validate. We should probably validate that it can find the fields that it was given. So let's add a test for both of those cases. So let's say, let's see. Let's add a test that says if it should return an error message when app is not found. It should return an error message when. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it should throw an error if it can't find all the fields, or should it just return the fields it can find? I think it should return an error. So an error message when one or more fields are not found. Test. It should return an error message when it fails to get the records. It should return an error message when there's no data. Yep. Cool. Okay, so those are all the test cases we want. Network bit, bye. Gotta sleep. Nighty night. For real this time. Okay, network bit. See you, man. I drink that coffee too fast. Mohammed, bro, what's the time there? It's 4:18 p.m. So it's just like the middle of the workday or end of the workday. We are in the Central Standard Time Zone. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to collect the app ID. Let app ID. I think Copilot's kind of on to what we want to do, but we probably should just add a little helper function. Let's see, async function. Get app ID. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think? Should this return undefined or should this just throw if we can't find? I think it should just throw. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna throw. That. And then I'm gonna come up here, and we can basically replace all of this with just like that. We can just do that. Although I think that's gonna break one of my tests. Yeah. It should return an error message when app is not found. I think I just closed my... Hey, Kyler. What's up? I'm Matt. Nice to see you. Suhas, good night. Yep, you're up too late to begin with. Nikki, we are cooking in Discord. Yes, I see that. It seems like there are lots of plans being laid in the Discord right now for a new programming language. Can you sing? No, I cannot sing. I am not a singer. All right, we gotta... Here we go. Muhammad really wanted me to sing that song for some reason. I'm not sure why. That feels sus. And then here, now we can say like that. And then we're probably going to want another one that's like get fields. Aren't we? Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at the docs here real quick. Ali. Hey, Steven, have you heard of AI automations, no code versus very low code tools? I'm not sure about AI automations. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, but I definitely have heard about low code and no code tools. The company I work for actually makes a no code, low code platform. So people can build apps and surveys and all kinds of workflows and things using just forms over data and drag and drop interfaces. Pretty cool. Muhammad, I was kidding with you. It's a very oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't really sing that much though. Only when I'm working out. That's about it. Other than that, no one else is getting a show. I'm curious, Ali, is there some sort of AI automations that you're talking about or referring to? Okay, let's see. So I'm looking for... Let's see, get fields. I want to get fields by IDs. No, I don't want to do this. I think I just want to get all the fields and then... I think what I want to do is I just want to do const. Yeah, I need to collect the field IDs is basically what I need to do. So I need to say get fields. Oh, I also need to await this. and then not get fields, get field IDs, which doesn't exist. Let's see, async function, get field IDs, client, on Spring client, app ID, and then we're also going to get, we also need the fields that we want to get. So we want a string array like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to say field const field IDs, and then, yep. Tell you what, look at Copilot Go. If fields dot includes field dot name. Is that the most? That probably, I don't, that's, there's not another way to do it really though. I mean, I could use another for loop, but somehow I'm gonna, because I have a list of fields and I have a list of field names, I have a list of fields. So I have to do something like this to figure out if I want to keep the field. So this is not particularly performant, what I'm doing here. But the way this API is, there's not really another way to do this. Because I'm expecting the LLM to talk to me with names of fields, not IDs. So I think I'm just going to have to live with that. All right. Oh, there's probably some new people here. I want to show you guys what I showed at the beginning of the stream and get your take on it. So I saw this on TikTok and it really made me roll my eyes. And so I want to see what you guys think about it.
One of our companies, Blitzy
Oh,
here.
hold on. Let me pause the music real quick. Let's see. It's basically kind of a vibe coding thing, but it made me roll my eyes. Here we go.
One of our companies, Blitzy here, writes 3 million lines of code in a single night.
Wow.
So 3 million lines of code, that'd be $300 million worth of R&D that would have taken you 3 years. You had $300 million lying around, and you got it in a single night. And then if you say, well, it doesn't do exactly what
This is my favorite part of the video right here. This is where it gets really good.
I wanted to do, let me start debugging it.
You're dead.
So what you do instead is you just keep talking to it, fix the modules you can through voice, and then just wait a couple months and the rest will get fixed too.
What does that even mean? You wait a couple months and the rest gets fixed? I don't even know what that means. GP, hi there. What's up, GP? How are you? Good time. First time I've seen you in the chat. Yeah, I don't know. I saw that and I can't literally believe. Steven, we need your approval on the plan in let me look. Oh yeah, I can add a channel for it if you want. Do you want me to add a channel or do you just want to do it in the coding channel? But I'm good. Yeah, go for it, man. You guys run, man. Run with your idea. um, yeah, but that video, I just can't get over that. The fact that there's all these people who think that vibe coding is like a legit path forward. I don't know. I don't get it. Mohammed, bro, can I ask you a question, please? Sure, shoot. Nikki, yes, please. Okay, I'll add a. Here you go. Nut language. I'm gonna call it nut lang dev. There you go. Oh, I think I just actually created two. Hold on. Let me delete one. Looks like Discord isn't debouncing their button clicks. Mohammed, do you support Palestine? I support both sides, man. I think both groups of people have a right to exist in a peaceful world, and I'm not like a scholar on that topic, but I think it's really, really shitty what's going on between them. I know it's a very polarizing topic, but yeah, I just think it's awful. GP, laugh with the laugh sweating emoji. Nikki, yes, please. It's our community language. It's Nikki's community language. Nikki, appreciate you, man. Have fun with it. I hope you guys have a good time doing that. All right, put the music back on. Let's see, it's 4:30. Yeah, so I probably got another 30 minutes or so, and then I'm at least gonna stop working on this on stream for the moment. Hey, Kaka, I think your popcorn's done. All right, so then we can go up here. And then we can do a list of fields. Nikki, hosted by Steven. Yeah, I'll be really interested if you develop your own programming thing. That's pretty wild, man. I've never done anything like that. I've never written a lexer or a parser, or anything like that. So I'd love to see what you end up coming up with. I know everyone said like, hey, you should try to do those things as like a learning experience. I've just never gotten around to it. All right, and then the final thing we need to do is we need to get our records. So, I don't really remember how to do this. So await client dot get records. I think by app ID is what we want. I swear I wrote this SDK, but I mean, you don't remember anything you wrote that was that long ago. Okay, then I need a new get records by ID request. And what does this thing take? So this needs the field IDs. Okay, so I was kind of on the right track here. I need the app ID. App ID. What else? And the field so the rest of this is all optional, but we're gonna give it the field IDs. So if you don't specify any field IDs, the API just returns every field, and some apps can have a lot of fields. So I think it'd be good to kind of force the LLM or the user to prompt, like they need to specify what fields are you interested in looking at. Let's see. And then I think so this API returns data in 2 different formats. Young, are you coding on Unity? I'm not coding on Unity. I'm working on a model context protocol server is what I'm working on right now. Mohammed, which phone is better, Galaxy Fold 6 or S25 Ultra? I've never used either of those phones. I would love to try the Fold 6 though, so that's the one I'd probably pick, because I think the whole idea of like a folding phone is pretty cool. They're just so expensive, a couple $1,000s. What was I saying? Oh, this API returns data in 2 different formats. It returns it in a formatted version or a... Hey, Kai Kai. The TV's just a little too loud for why I'm streaming. He's got the remote. He's been turning it up and down. Thanks, buddy. Let's say, oh, all right, thanks. Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the MCP, it's basically just like a way to try to provide like an abstraction layer for LLMs to be able to use existing tools and stuff. Okay, get record by app ID. Yeah, raw versus format. So the format, let's see. So this is what it looks like for raw, but this isn't very helpful, right? Returning a GUID, that's not useful to an LLM. So what we need to actually return, I think we actually need to do a formatted response, which is probably going to present its own set of values to work around, but I think that's what we need to do. Mohammed, all right, bro. Wish you all the best. See you, Mohammed. Thanks for hanging out, man. Okay, yeah. Have a good sleep, man. Yeah, you guys have been staying up way too late to watch me stream. Let's see. GP, I'm new to the world of coding and programming. What are you doing there? You look really cool doing whatever you're up to, by the way. I don't know if cool's the right word. So what am I doing? So let's start at the top here. Okay, so if you're familiar, GP, with large language models, right? You have something like Claude, you know, and you can talk to Claude, right? You can ask Claude questions like reverse a linked list in TypeScript, right? You can ask it to do things and it does things, right? So that's kind of first piece of knowledge you got to know about LLMs. They can do this cool stuff. The thing is, though, right? LLMs are great, but they can't necessarily take a lot of action in the real world, right? Like you can't have Claude, like you can't ask Claude, like, you know, Claude, show me files on my desktop, right? You can't ask Claude to do something like that because Claude can't actually read your file system. And so what Anthropic developed is something called the Model Context Protocol, which is basically this idea of creating an open standard. And you can see it came out late last year, but to basically create this common standard that existing pieces of software could create like an abstraction layer on top and say, hey, if you're an MCP client, you can use this MCP server to do things, right? And so lots of people have written lots of MCP servers for a bunch of different things. So let's go ahead and look at a few examples here. So they've written MCP servers for the file system, for Git, for GitHub, for Google Drive. And the basic idea here is that having MCP servers and providing them those to an LLM allows that LLM then to do things, right? So the LLM, what the LLM does is it generates inputs, right? Or you can kind of think as of them as like arguments to functions. The LLM generates those arguments, passes them into these functions that the MCP server provides, that an actual programmer or developer or coder wrote, right? These tools or these functions to do things like read your file system or talk to the GitHub API. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to implement an MCP that talks to an API. In particular, it's supposed to talk to the OnSpring API. And if you're not familiar with that piece of software, I wouldn't be surprised because it's kind of an obscure thing. But it's or it's more of an enterprisey thing, not really an end user thing, right? So more of a B2B product. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing at the moment is writing one of these MPC servers. So then the idea will be that I can plug this into something like Claude Desktop, which is itself an MCP client, and then I can use Claude Desktop to talk to that API. Right, and you could also use Claude. You could also plug in that file system, right? You could plug in the file system MCP server into Claude Desktop, and then Claude Desktop would be able to read files off your file system. So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. They actually show you how you set it up here. And the nice thing is then theoretically, hopefully, like OpenAI just announced they're going to support the MCP or MCP as well. So the more the industry supports this protocol, theoretically what it means is that if you want to build an MCP client, you'll have access to all the existing, world of MCP servers. You won't have to re-implement those yourself. And if you're somebody who's implementing an MCP server, you can leverage the existing clients that are already out there in the world, right? Versus having to basically build your own front end, build your own agentic framework, build your own set of tools. You can just leverage this kind of open standard, which I think is pretty neat. And I wanted to be able to say I know how to build an MCP server, so that's why I picked this as my kind of my latest project to work on. All right. So we need to now give it the format we want to use, which is going to be formatted. Let's see, data formats dot formatted. And then we're going to also need, this is getting a little long in the tooth. Thanks for that. Yeah, of course, man. Of course. I know it's hard sometimes in with streams because you kind of enter at various times in the stream, and then it's like we're in the middle of something. But that's basically what I'm doing. And I'm by far not an expert on the topic, so if I misstated anything, forgive me. I'm learning just like everybody else. Const records. We're going to have a, whoops, nope, not that. If field IDs.length equals 0, do we want to throw an error here? I don't know if I want to do anything there. I think if the fields, I think I do want to handle this case. Oh yeah, so this needs to be a little different. I need to do const fields not found. This is going to be a string array like this. Or say continue. Yeah, so we need to do this a little differently. We need to do for so basically I want to be able to identify when I can't find a field. Now I'm having trouble thinking. How do I want to do this? I'm battling with myself. I guess the question is, do I care if the model asks for fields that don't exist? How about I do what every productive person does? Let's just kick that question down the road. So let's put it to do here. Let's put it to do here. To do, let's say, do I care if fields are not found? I don't know. Do I care if No fields are found. I think on this one I do, because I don't think I want them pulling back all the fields on a record by default, which is what the API does by default. If you give it an empty list of fields, it just returns all the fields, I think. But I'll defer that for the moment. Okay, then at this point what we need to do is we need to loop. So we need to say do. I bet you guys haven't seen a lot of people use do while loops, huh? I don't see very many people use them at all. I like do while loops though for pagination, because you're always gonna want to make at least one request, right? So it means you're gonna want to iterate at least once, which is to me kind of why the do while loop makes a lot of sense when you're paging. Bilge, sorry if I mess up your username, man. Bilge, hello, how are you? I'm doing well. Actually, you're coming kind of towards the end of the stream, Bilge, so apologies. I'm probably going to stream for another, I don't know, 8-ish minutes or so, 10-ish minutes or so. Let's see. A mine GM, you literally look like Lewis. I don't know who Lewis is. I do not know who you refer to. GP, who is Lewis? Coding with Lewis. Suhas dead. Search it up. Lewis. Okay. Code with Lewis. Oh, I can see that. I can see how you can see that. We've got kind of similar shaped eyes. This guy? Is this who you're talking about? I've never heard of his channel. Man, he has 672,000 subscribers, and he only has 655 videos. I have more videos than him, and like 6/10 or like 1/10. No, not even 1/10. What would it be? 800 divided by 672,000. I have 0.001%. That's wild. I'll have to give his channel I'll have to give it a shot. I haven't seen it. How Discord handled the world's largest server? Interesting. He has a GitHub. See, born in Edinburgh. He's living in Canada. He's Scottish. That's cool. Likes to write blogs. Oh, he's a type 1 diabetic. That's crazy. One of my other favorite tech creators, Scott Hanselman, he's a diabetic. What is Tomorrow Inc? Maybe that's just his company. Interesting. Yeah, thanks for the recommendation though. That's awesome. Found a new creator I can watch. Nikki, okay, I'm gonna check out for the night. Thank you for the long stream. It was great. Yeah, Nikki, thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you sticking around. I'll be signing off myself, man. So sleep good. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a. Ooh, Reddit video maker bot. That's interesting. These videos on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram get millions of views across all platforms and require very little effort. The only original thing being done is the editing and gathering of all the materials. But what if we could automate this process?
Sizing, the starving artist, mental illness, especially things like
Huh. That's cool. Yeah, okay, definitely. I'm gonna subscribe and watch some of his content. Thanks for sharing it with me, man. Appreciate that. Suhas, good night. Yeah, see you, Suhas. Amin GM, good luck on what you're working on. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, have a good sleep. Yeah, it must be getting late on that side of the world, huh? Suhas says for real this time. Yeah, see you, man. See you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. It's 3:28 a.m. Yeah, that's late, man. Let's see. Records. Paging request equals new paging request. Let's see. We'll do a page of 100. We'll start at page 1. We need total record pages. And then we're just going to come down here and we're going to say while records paging request dot page number is less than or equal to total, we're going to keep looping. And then we can take this guy and we can put him here. Records response, like that. And then we need to pass the paging request over here. Records paging request. That line is way too long. I'll fix that in a second. Actually, let me fix it right now. Const request equals. Whoops, no. I tell you what, when you work in a vertical screen like this, like half of the screen, you get real sensitive to how long lines are. Okay, and then now we can just do a request like that. And then let's see, if records response dot is successful equals false, or records response dot data is null, then we're going to throw an error. And then otherwise we are going to say otherwise we also need to create const records equals this is going to be a result record like that, and then it's not data.records, it's data.items. Like that. And then we need to set the page, and we need to increment the current page. Oh, we actually, this is, whoops. This needs to all be implemented. This needs to be all implemented inside here. And then once we finish paging through all the records, we're just going to return those records. And we're going to say JSON.stringify. And we're just going to stringify the records, which for now is going to look super ugly. But we'll fix that. Because these records that come back don't actually have a ton of good information. So if you actually look at how they come back, they literally just tell you the app, the record ID, and then they give the field data for that record. But the metadata, like the field ID, is not helpful. Like we should replace this with the field name. Yeah. So we probably want the record ID. We probably want app name maybe. Yeah. But in anywho, I want to try this tool out before we call it quits for the day. See you, Suhas. See you, man. Subik, what is this, man? Looks great. This is a TypeScript, and we're building an MCP server. That's what we're doing. If you're familiar with that, and you might not be, but if you are, that's what we're building. Okay, so this means I should be able now to use this tool. Let's see if the inspector is still running. The inspector, I think, is still running. But I don't know. Where is it? There we go. Okay, let's see. Let's restart the server. Let's clear. I think we need to start a new session. There we go. Connect. Well, that didn't work. Let's restart the server. Hold on. I have an error somewhere. The expression is not callable. Oh, yeah, because this shouldn't be async. Excuse me. Let's see. Oh, yep, and this should not be a promise that resolves to a tool callback. This should just be a tool callback. That was because I was implementing the thing in the wrong place. There we go. Okay, now I should be able to restart the server. Okay, let's connect. Let's list the tools here. We're gonna get records. And let's switch to JSON. Oh yeah, well, okay, let's just do this. Okay, and we're gonna do the users app, so we'll do username. And we'll say users. And let's see what happens. Did it blow up? Doesn't look like it's working. The request timed out. So what, did we get like stuck in an infinite loop or something? I'm not sure why the request is timing out. We increase it. We're setting it to total pages. This should eventually terminate. Let's see. We're getting the app here. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna say const normalized fields. Yeah, make them lowercase. Two lowercase. That's not my issue, but Harish Dixit, what are you building, bro? I'm working on building a model context protocol server, if you know what that is. It's basically if you're familiar with the language server protocol, it's kind of inspired by that, but it's supposed to be a way to have like LLM clients be able to access basically like tools specifically defined or specifically defined to allow LLMs to take action in particular systems or against particular pieces of technology or existing pieces of technology. You know, so you could like allow Claude for desktop to like read your file system or look at your GitHub resources, that type of thing. It's pretty cool if you haven't checked it out. It's Anthropic was the one who developed it, but more and more people seem to be adopting it. So, yeah, that's what I'm building. Let's see. Let me give this one more shot, and then I'm going to take a break. There's something I've done wrong when I'm fetching the records, I think. But I've been at this now for 3 hours. This is a long stream for me, so. Harish, can you share some resources of it so I can? Yeah, for sure. Hold on. Give me 1 sec. Let me try to get this working one time, and then we can go through some of the resources that I think would be really helpful, because they've been really helpful to me, because I'm like you, I'm just trying to learn. Yeah, this is just going to time out again, isn't it? Yeah, it just timed out. Okay, never mind. GP, wow, that's a lot of time. What time is it in your country? It is 5:10 p.m. Okay, so in terms of resources, sorry, I'm muted for a second. Yes, my wife was getting on to my kids. Okay, resources for Model Context Protocol. Okay, so if you want to learn more about this, specifically, I guess I'm talking to you, Harsh. I would start with Model Context Protocol.io, I think is the website. This is a good place to start, so I'll put this in the chat. That's a good place to start. That'll kind of get you started. But then from there, you'll kind of go through the architecture, right? So you have the idea of hosts, right? Then you have the idea of clients, and then you have the idea of servers. And the servers is what I'm working on stream right now. And All right. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap up for the evening. So this is but yeah, this is where I would start if I was you, Harish. And then you can kind of go. They've got a couple tutorials that'll help you walk through building a client, building a server, and you can go from there. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. This was a longer stream than normal for me. So if you're interested, you can join our Discord. There's some links in the channel. Links if you want to join the Discord and hang out there. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys. I'll talk to you next time. GP, of course, man. Yeah, anytime. If you see me live again, definitely come back, hang out with us.